because we can get to Defensive Player of the Year, and this will be the last thing we talk about here.
All right.
Rudy Gobert 5-1, Bam Adebayo 15-2, Robert Williams 8-1, Giannis Antetokounmpo 17-2, Draymond Green 9-1, Marcus Smart 9-1, Mikhail Bridges 12-1, Anthony Davis 14-1, Ben Simmons 18-1, Joel Embiid 18-1, Evan Mobley 25-1, Drew Holiday 28-1, Jarrett Allen 30-1, Jaren Jackson Jr. 30-1. Remember, Jaren Jackson is out for a pretty decent start of the year this year. That's why he's so low. Miles Turner, Alex Caruso, Matisse Thybulle, Scotty Barnes 40-1, Herb Jones 50-1, Kawhi Leonard 66-1, Pat Bev, Al Horford, Mo Bamba, Lou Dort 80-1. There are a few names here that are interesting to me. Who stands out to you?
Evan Mobley, 25-1.
That's the one. That's the one that really caught my eye.
That's the one, right? Because Cleveland's going to be good, and I guess it just depends on how good they are for him to get those votes. But and then I mean, you would hate for him and Jared Allen to be competing with one another for that award, but I still think it would probably favor Evan Mobley. Continuing on with our New York or our Brooklyn Nets hype, Ben Simmons, because he's maybe the best defender in the NBA, like when he's locked in and healthy, or at least top 3 in my opinion. And that was 18-1, I believe. Herb Jones, I don't know if he'll get the award, but
he's unbelievable though,
right? Herb Jones is unbelievable. And then I don't even know why I'm going to mention this one, but I don't think the Bulls will be as good. But Caruso is also an amazing defender, ridiculous. But those are the ones that stood out in terms of kind of long shot odds, low risk, high reward, good payout.
Yeah. I thought Evan Mobley had the best defensive rookie season since Tim Duncan. I think he had a better defensive rookie season than Anthony Davis did. And that was the last time that someone was anywhere really in that ballpark. Evan Mobley is an absolute monster defender, and as he gets older, he's going to get even better in terms of positioning and things. Evan Mobley at 25-1, I think, is wild. That's one that just is immediate for me. It's a hard award to win, no question, but the Cavs are going to be good. He has to make up, and Jared Allen, they have a real defensive narrative that they can build because Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are on the perimeter defensively, playing a lot of minutes for them. You could see a Rudy Gobert-ish narrative being built for Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Maybe they steal votes from one another, but I think that Evan would probably be the guy that would get them. I like that. Drew Holiday continues to get buzz at the end of every season, it feels like, for Defensive Player of the Year, because he is probably the best perimeter defender on the ball in the NBA currently, I would say. Just against guards. Maybe you'd rather have the switchability of Mikhail Bridges. You'd maybe rather have Marcus Smart. I get that. But in terms of one-on-one on-ball defense against a guard, I think Drew Holiday is the best one in the league. You can get him at 28-1. That's not bad. I still have a strong sneaking suspicion that if Draymond Green can play a full season, the voters would I thought Draymond Green was the best per minute defender in the NBA last year. He just played 46 games. I thought if he would have played the entire season, he would have won Defensive Player of the Year. I think that there will be a push if he plays a full season at the level he played at last year to give him an award for Defensive Player of the Year, because he, in my opinion, at the very least, is the best defensive player of his generation. And he only has one Defensive Player of the Year award.
So are you, the way that you just described Draymond, I can't help but feel he's the odds-on favorite for a reason. If Minnesota takes another step, I feel like it's very clearly going to be Rudy Gobert getting all the votes. He kind of is Jokic to the MVP award with the DPOY, and with the advanced stats and all that. I don't know if people find him as likable as Nikola Jokic, but He's an incredible defender. And Minnesota is also going to be good. I'd expect that they're not going to be a playing team this year. Maybe I'm wrong for thinking that.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah. Okay. And he's just going to be just as good as he was in Utah and helping anchor those teams. And I feel like it's going to be his award to lose, in my opinion.
I think that's a good take. I think that if you assume Draymond Green is going to miss some time, as Dre just kind of has, like throughout the course of the last, X number of years of his career, right? Like the last time he played 70 games was 2018, right? If you assume that Dre is just going to miss some time here and there, I think that makes sense. I also I don't know if we get one of the Celtics to win again, unless Robert Williams just completely obliterates defensively, which is possible. Like Robert Williams is phenomenal as well. The Marcus Smart award was weird last year to me. I didn't really get that one, to be honest, but the media voted for him and there's clearly some sort of push there. Mikhail Bridges is a really interesting one at 12-1. There are a lot of really great defenders in the league. I think you're right that Rudy Gobert should be the favorite coming into this year. He consistently plays a ton of games. He consistently plays a ton of minutes. He's in a new situation. If he makes Minnesota's defense good next to Karl Anthony Towns, that's an easy narrative to build. Rudy Gobert should be the favorite for this award coming into the year. And at 5-1, I don't even think that's bad. I don't think it's a bad number.
That's good value.
For a guy that's the favorite to win the award coming into the year. If Giannis didn't win it, Giannis had a phenomenal year defensively last year. I know that the Bucks finished somewhere between 12th and 15th, I think, in defensive efficiency, but Giannis had to do so much to even get them there because Drew missing time, Chris Middleton missing time, Brook Lopez obviously missing the full season. I thought he was Herculean defensively last year, just keeping that defense afloat. If he didn't win last year, I don't know that we'll get him again for Defensive Player of the Year. Where do you fall on Anthony Davis if Anthony Davis plays?
I was just thinking in my head I was going to bring that up to you. It depends on what Anthony Davis would get, right? Because the Anthony Davis that we saw, obviously, in New Orleans and the first year in LA was a lot healthier. His body was in a lot better condition. And I think if he's healthy, I'm just really, really interested in seeing what type of wear and tear all the injuries have had on him. Can he still move laterally when he gets switched out on wings? Can he recover and block shots from the weak side? Is he the agile Anthony Davis, or is he the kind of bulky one who's kind of paint bound and can't move quite as good because of all the injuries? But a lot of it depends on how good the Lakers are, which we keep saying. I think that there's going to be just knowing that Darvin Ham came from Milwaukee and his style. And I feel like he's going to bring a lot of, Milwaukee's style of play to LA. And I always thought it would be interesting, if Miles Turner ended up there and he'd be kind of like the Brook Lopez and, the defensive anchor and space the court. But I think that Anthony Davis is going to have a good year. I just don't know if he's going to be healthy enough to be in consideration for this award. And that's not saying he won't finish the season healthy, but I think they'll kind of prioritize getting him through certain stretches, load management, rest, in-game rest where he's playing 30 minutes here and there. I don't think that even in the LA market, I don't think that he'll be in consideration for the award. And that's not to say that he won't be a good, great defender this year. Yeah.
So you mentioned the load management stuff. And I don't know if they can afford to do that with him and LeBron. I don't know if they're good enough. That's kind of what my worry is. Are they good enough to be able to sit LeBron for 20 games at a time or for 20 games throughout the course of the season if he doesn't get hurt? Are they good enough to sit Anthony Davis for 17 games, throughout the season if he's not hurt? The odds are he'll just frankly, given history, Anthony Davis will probably miss time here and there. But if he would play a full year, I mean, he's
still really special defensively. Like he's special defensively.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. That's a hard one for me, I think. I think you probably are right that he's probably not going to be healthy enough. Who is your favorite here? I mean, your favorite is Rudy Gobert, obviously at 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think I agree with you. I think there actually is value on Rudy at 5-1. Who else stands out to you though?
Evan Mobley. I think we both agree on that. Like
I do.
I don't 25-1. Like even if the value was like 10-1, you know what I mean? Like they're going to be really good, and he's only going to get better going into year 2. Like it just makes too much sense to like pass up. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they're going to give it to a guard again. I think that was kind of random how it ended up with Marcus Smart last year. Not to say he didn't deserve it or earn it, but typically that award goes to bigs or forwards, pseudo Draymond Green types. Or even, big wings like a Kawhi Leonard or whatnot. I don't know if Herb Jones sneaks his way in there. I'm sure there'll certainly be a case and a push for him from, the Pelicans, and especially because they're going to be good and he's going to be guarding every team's best perimeter player every night. So it'll be a natural kind of throw him in there. But I don't know. I mean, I guess now that I'm talking about it, I could talk myself into it, but I still think that the top of my list would be Rudy, obviously, and then, Evan Mobley.
I don't know if there's value on Bam Adebayo, but plus 750 for Bam Adebayo after the defensive season he had last year, where again, I probably would have had it Draymond Green, then Bam in terms of like most effective on a per minute basis defensively last year in the NBA. Draymond for reasons in terms of just leadership and organizing the defense, as well as his incredible impact, his incredible switchability, his ability to protect the rim a bit. But for Bam, he is like the most switchable defensive big in the NBA. There are literally stats that will tell you he's the most switchable defensive big in the NBA and the most successful one at that. He switched more often than any big in the NBA last season, if I remember correctly. And he is one of the premier defenders in the league. I think having him with similar odds to Robert Williams and, Giannis and Draymond Green and Marcus Smart, I think he should be closer to like the 6-1, 5-1 mark that Rudy is. I think there's value on Bam here, to be honest. Bam, again, like Bam's a guy that does have a bit of a tendency to miss time. Like he missed 10 games. He missed 13 his rookie season. He missed 10 games his third season. He missed 8 his fourth season. And then last year he missed 26. And, I think you can get away with playing 70 games, like right around there. But if he plays 75 games, 72 games, it's going to be him and Rudy and all guys being healthy here. It's probably going to be Bam, Rudy, Draymond, like it is your 3, I would think, with maybe.
And it might be, might be in terms of Bam, it might be like a sneaky, get in before, like, I think, who were we talking about earlier? We were talking about Luka, where it's like 10 games in where his odds are never going to be better. Like, I just think the overall buzz around Miami is kind of down. Even with Bam, just because he wasn't great in the playoffs, he kind of had some real highs and lows. Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry getting older and then losing PJ Tucker. Like, there's just not a lot of buzz around them. But what we do know about this team is that they're extremely well coached. They have a culture. They're gonna. I mean, if they're a top 3 team in the East, halfway through the season, like the buzz, like his odds aren't going to be, what are they, plus 750? Like they're going to be lower than that. And I don't know. I just think people are really down on the Heat right now. And that kind of, I feel like that factors into the way people are getting their vote or their bets in for him right now. And that's reflected in the odds.
Yeah, I agree. Like it feels like just because they didn't make any big offseason acquisition, and frankly, they lost PJ Tucker as well.
Right.
Uh, like it just feels like everyone else in the East has been louder. Philadelphia has, picked up much more depth, and Cleveland has picked up Donovan Mitchell, and Boston just went to the
Yeah.
finals, and everyone loves talking about Boston right now because of that. Atlanta went out and got DeJounte Murray.
Right.
Them in Milwaukee, it feels like, are the two. Brooklyn has been like the loudest team on the planet, right? Like them in Milwaukee, it feels like everyone is just being quiet about, and particularly Miami, it feels like nobody is talking about because at least Giannis is playing in Eurobasket right now. Whereas like Miami doesn't have any of that either. And it might be a good thing for Miami that they don't have any of that because now they get an older team, a full off season of rest, which they haven't had in a few years since they went to the title, since they went to the NBA finals back in 2020. So I don't know. Maybe we're all undervaluing Miami a bit here, and Bam might be the one because Bam is really good. Bam, honestly, I think I've kind of talked myself into Bam a little bit, at 7.5-1, talking through this right now.
It wouldn't be a bad pick. I mean, they're not his odds aren't going to be better than this at any point in the season, in my opinion, because he's really good. He brings a ton of value, not in the odds, but on the court and his switchability, like you pointed out. Miami's always good. Like they're going to be good. Spoelstra is going to figure it out. They're going to have some random undrafted players step up and be big. Like they're going to figure it out. They'll be just fine, and they're going to be one of the better defensive teams in the league. And Bam is going to be a huge reason why. Obviously, Jimmy is too. I feel like he kind of turns it up a little bit more in the playoffs than the regular season. But yeah, people are kind of sleeping on Miami right now, and we'll see if they get burned for it.
I'm kind of trying to wonder if we're like overrating Evan Mobley's chances here a little bit, if only because I'm running through like who has won this award. I think that like the least experienced player to win this award in the last like 3 decades, it looks like, maybe even longer than that. I kind of went through the last like 3 to 4 decades, is Kawhi won it in his 4th year. It looks like Ron Artest won it in his 5th year. I think that's like the youngest.
What year was Rudy when he got his first one? Around the same, like 5th?
Yeah, Rudy was year 5. He won it in his first, so that would be similar to Ron Artest winning it. I mean, Tyson Chandler, I think, was a little bit old. Yeah, Tyson Chandler was year 11. Dwight was year 5, it looks like, as well. So
we're putting a lot of stock in a second-year player.
We might be putting too much stock in a second-year player. Yeah. Bam will be in year 6. Kind of looking through here. Rudy obviously be a little bit older. I will say, if we're looking at like the 5th year as like the breakout year, I believe Robert Williams will be in his 5th year. This coming.
Is he already?
Yeah, this will be his 5th, I believe, because he got extended coming into this year or coming into last year. Mikhail Bridges, I believe, also fits the 5th year criteria of breakout wing defenders. Yep. Mikhail Bridges is a great defender too. We didn't really talk about him, but I want to see what Phoenix looks like.
Buzz is down on Phoenix as well, just like Miami. Buzz is
down on Phoenix for sure, but for different reasons, because they were just like an abomination in that last Mavs game. Although I still think that they made the right call running it back, because that's a great team. Yeah, I think that my pick is Bam right now, 7.5-1. I think I might stay away from Mobley now, just because I've kind of talked myself out of a second-year guy winning Defensive Player of the Year. Like that feels early for him.
It's just those odds are like, man,
they're so good. Yeah. Drew Holiday at 28-1, like piques my interest. And then Dre at 9-1. Like again, like I think if Dre plays a full season, there will be a push to get the guy who has been the Defensive Player of the Generation another Defensive Player of the Year award. I mean, they've won 4 titles. I think it's impossible to say.
It's kind of crazy that he only has 1.
Yeah, right. Like I think he's made the all defense team, and in part it's because of injuries, where like he hasn't been able to win a Defensive Player of the Year award, but he's made the all defense team 7 times throughout his career. And I don't know. I feel like it'd be good to get Draymond Green one more. Maybe that's my own personal biases leaking into the equation.
I mean, you're right to have those biases, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you out on Ben Simmons? Did we wear out the Brooklyn stuff too much?
I need to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to look. Like, you're right. He might be the best defensive player on planet Earth. I need to see it.
You got to see it. It's been a minute. Yeah.
Before we start, like, put it this way, if I was telling you that you had to invest money in Ben Simmons, does that feel like a stable investment?
Doesn't seem like something I should do. Respectfully.
I don't know. Respectfully to Ben, because we really want him to get through whatever he's getting through right now. But I don't know, man. I don't feel great about it.